Hi everyone. So good afternoon. Thank you for coming. We're really excited to have this event. I think coming from a startup founder for the last 10 years, I have seen the issues that startups face, and I think it's about time that someone actually gets the whole local scene, puts them all together in one event, and then show the international investors that we have all the international grade startups here that they can put their money in. We found that there's a lot of investors looking for investments, but they just don't know where to look. So I think this event should help a lot of the startups out here and link them together with corporations and media like you guys.
So I'd just like to echo what Francis mentioned. So I think it's high time, and I think the timing is quite right for the Philippines to actually showcase what it has in terms of its startup ecosystem. So if you guys are not familiar with Tech in Asia, around 5 years ago, Tech in Asia had this article, and the article was titled, "Is the Philippines the next best secret place or the next best site that investors can look into for startups?" And it has been an opportunity and yet a challenge as well. And TECHtonic hopefully will be able to show both startup entrepreneurs, both investors, whether local, regional, international, what our ecosystem looks like, what the opportunities are at stake, and how we could do more collaboration in this space.
Alright, so since I'm in the business of events management for almost 7 years now, I feel that it's about time to have this kind of event in Manila. Because you've been hearing our Asian neighbor countries, they've been doing a lot of tech events. Why not Manila? So I thought of this event, and of course through the help of Lollapalooza, OPBC and 1000 Angels, we decided that really it's the time, it's the perfect time to have this kind of event, TECHtonic, Manila Tech Convention. And culture for the future. Why is it TECHtonic, by the way, Ace? So TECHtonic, if you could relate it to the tectonic plate of a volcanic eruption, so something like that. So technology is about disruption of ideas. And Filipinos are very, very creative and very innovative. So I feel 100% I believe in our local startups. So that's why we came about TECHtonic.
Yes. TECHtonic is the collaboration of startups, MSMEs, government, corporations, media, and bloggers. So for us, this event gathers everyone into one place or event. And it's about time that we showcase the Philippines on how innovative we are, and not only we could excel here nationally, but we can excel, yes, and compete in the international scene.
Right, my name is also there, so I will give also an opening statement. It's very important that many people are educated about the startup space, because right now, and I know startup founders will agree, startup entrepreneurs will agree, the startup scene is a very, very small and closely knit scene. So magkakakilala po lahat sa startup scene. And because it's like that, there are very few people who understand what the entire scene means. And through TECHtonic, we hope that more people will be open to what happens in the startup scene. They will be exposed to how startup founders work, how the entire startup investor relationship works, and how things happen in essence in the entire scene. So at this point, I know that you have a couple of questions for our panelists. I could probably answer some of them also, but do we have some questions right now from our audience? Nako, wala pa. But, okay, habang nag-iisip-isip pa kayo ng questions, I will ask the panelists, of course. Why do you think is TECHtonic important in the Philippines? why Manila? Why not Cebu? Why not, other major cities in the country?
All right. Honestly speaking, I have only, I think, 3 experience holding an event in the province. Bacolod, I believe there are 2 events that we did there. But Manila is really the business hub in the Philippines, and there's a lot of startups. I was amazed and shocked that we have 100 startups, mostly from Metro Manila, and who signed up for TECHtonic. So Manila is the perfect venue, and of course I chose SMX Convention Center because there's a lot of international events in SMX. So there, I believe in the events perspective, I think Metro Manila is the best venue.
I agree also, right now many startups are based in Manila, but there are also a lot in Cebu and Davao, other major cities, and we hope to hold TECHtonic also there in the future. I would, as part of the organizing team, we also want TECHtonic to be that venue where startups can really get funded. It's one of the major goals of this event. We hope that there are what we call deal flows that will happen in the event, and we hope that it will be an enriching experience for everybody who will be there. Other questions, please, if you have. Oh, yes, John.
Hi, I'm Jones Montemayor. I'm Vice President of Cromwell. My question is, what will be happening in the startup arena?
So just to address your question, what's your name? Sorry? Jonks.
Jonks.
Okay, Jonks. So that's day 0. So we'll start off first with a private lunch with the investors, just for them to understand the context of the ecosystem and how startups react or do dynamics here in the Philippines. Then around from 1 o'clock to around early evening, we'll have 30 of the best startups or 30 curated startups pitch for 5 minutes to a panel of 7 judges who are also investors, but then we're expecting between 50 to 100 mix of regional, local, international investors to also listen to the pitches. Before 7, we'll do a deliberation on the top 10. And then the top 10 startups will get to pitch on day 2 of TECHtonic, and we will choose the best startup founder and be awarded, and I understand will be awarding ₱500,000 seed capital for that promising startup.
$500,000 guaranteed prize money.
It's a guaranteed prize money. And then after the deliberation, so the announcement of the top 10, we will allow startup founders and of course the investors to do a lot of interaction because in the type of work that Francis and I do in investments, a lot of the deal flows that get consummated or a lot of the deal breakers happen out of the limelight. So those are things that you can look forward to.
Just to second whatever Nicole said, there's also a lack of a lot of these startups. They're looking for inspirations and they're looking for success stories, and I think that's what we want to produce. At the end of the whole startup arena, we want them to see that there is actually startups that we should be proud of and startups that we should look up to as someone who can play in the global space.
Thank you for that. More questions from our audience? Oh, okay.
Yes. What will be the impact in bringing international investors here in the Philippines?
Thank you.
I think it's to broaden the availability of access to investment and funding. But then again, the assumption there is if there are a lot of investors coming, it also means there are a lot of viable companies. When we say viable companies, you can prove that you can bring in revenues, if not profitability. You can close sales, you can make money, you can make sure that your business model is working. So at the end of the day, the investors will really look at not only startups, but they will look at businesses. They will look at how teams, how founders can really run their businesses well. And I think if the startups here can prove that, then they can be assured that, you know, investors will go after them, that, you know, they would have to spend so much of their time pitching and preparing for funding. But if they can prove that, you know, they can make things work, then that's no problem. The cash will come after them.
Just to add, international investors come in with a lot more funds and a lot bigger amount of money to invest, which I think would really benefit our local economy. It will help create more jobs, create more companies, and I think that's what we want at the end of the day. As a country, we want more investments, but also within the local startup scene, we really want to see startups flourish and become, you know, big companies one day, global companies that we look up to, not just like Facebook, but something around those lines.
That's very good. We have one question here from our audience.
I am John from Technication. So what's the main purpose of this event?
Like I've mentioned earlier, there are three components of this event. One is the startup pitching competition, which we call Arena. This is where startups really battle and, of course, be noticed by the investors we have selected. So far, there are really, really good investors, local and international. The second one will be to highlight also their products and services through the Trade Tech Expo. So we are given them 2 days to showcase their products and services. This is a perfect time to network. I hope the startups would agree. I've been hearing this word, network with the right people, the investors, and also the corporate ones. We also have corporate guests because I believe in collaboration. Startups and corporate, they are intertwined. As you can notice, also the handshake of the robot and the human hand. We believe that technology and, of course, the startups represents the hand that we are to collaborate. And of course, the third part will be, of course, the media. So we want to urge the media and the bloggers to really support the startups. This is a very, very good event. We want to see you there. We want to see you there and network also with the startups and help them. Of course, if you find that they are really, really good, you have to support them and you have to promote also. I hope the media can relate. So I'd like to acknowledge the TV5, Light Network, TV Net 25. The major TVs are here and they believe in the project, and for that, I want to thank you very much.
Thank you to our major media partners for that. Also, I've gathered one of the questions from our audience, probably from a corporate partner. As corporations, why do we need to care about startups? Probably because, you know, things have worked for them for quite a long time. And why the sudden, you know, need for startups, right?
Okay, to answer that, I think it's about time. Not only that the corporate will benefit from the startups, it's because also from them, from their end, it's actually it's how they should innovate or keep ahead of the game within their certain industries. And I think that startups really dwell on the innovative side of things, and working with and collaborating with corporations would really bring them to the head of their game.
Right. I also have one of the questions from the back. They asked me, what does a startup founder day, what is the typical day for a startup founder like? And I could probably answer that, but I'd like other startup founders to answer that also. As for me, you know, it's crazy. There's really no routine, no? It's not like, you know, when you go to corporate, you wake up at a certain time, and then, you know, you go to work, you probably drive or commute. It's nothing routinary when you're a startup founder. Sometimes, you know, you wake up at 6, you sleep at 5 the next day. But sometimes there's nothing to do. Sometimes the day is so free, I Netflix all day. It's really that crazy, you know, but because it's that I'd say volatile. This is something that I've always wanted. The time, the freedom to design my day the way I like it, and of course, chasing my dreams at the same time. Does any startup founder want to share what their day is like? CC, Chris, probably.
Hi. In my day-to-day experience as the CEO of our startup, it's really volatile, as you said. At one moment, we would meet with different clients. Another, we would meet with several partners. Another, we would meet with possible media partners. And really, meeting with all these communities, it's exciting in a way, but also at the same time, quite nerve-wracking and nervous. Because it's your first time. Maybe no one has ever traveled this far before. Maybe you're the real blazer in this field.
That's true, no? You meet different kinds of people every day. Sometimes, I'd have meetings 7 in a day. So I would have a Makati day because I live in Fairview. So I would have a Makati day and set all my Makati meetings in one day because it's so difficult to, drive all over the place. Many times I'd also have a BGC day, by the way. About other startup founders, Joshua ulit.
So for me, I start my second lunch at 11 p.m. Yeah, first lunch is the typical lunch, and my second lunch, I take it off at 11 p.m. so I can work to the technical side of our platform. And by morning, the usual time, I talk to potential investors and clients.
Iba-iba rin po talaga experiences ng startup founders. And Francis here is also a startup founder himself before. Actually, can you share with us some of your experience as a startup founder up to the time when you exited the company?
So usually, it's a really nerve-wracking experience. It's like a roller coaster ride. It's either you feel you're gonna be the next Facebook or tomorrow you're gonna die. That's kind of how it feels to be a startup founder. I think there's no same day. There will be days that you feel like you're so busy you won't even sleep, or you'll sleep a couple of hours. There will be days naman where you can really take the whole day off and just chill and relax. So it's really up to you. The best part about it is you're in control. You're in control of your fate and destiny, and I would say that the business is in your hands. So I think that's the beauty of startup, and I guess that's also the challenges of a startup.
Right, and we talk about culture so much. No, our theme is actually culture for the future. Francis again, or any of the panelists, what is the startup culture like?
Okay, the culture really for any startup to begin with is that you have to be willing to take on the risks involved. Okay, so it's a lot of risk taking, and it's not just blind risk. It has to be a calculated risk. For example, you came from corporate after X number of years. You've been able to save up this X amount of money. You'd have to learn how to manage your resources properly and know when you will need to have revenue for the next number of months. So it's a lot of calculations, it's a lot of risk taking. At the same time, there should be a lot of openness. My pain point, wearing both a hat of an investor and a mentor, is that it's so hard sometimes to deal with some startups because they're not that open or they're not coachable. So you should be willing to be coachable. You're talking to investors who could be potentially your mentors. And you should be able to also take on the risk that, they will challenge your assumptions. And these guys know better than you. As a startup founder, you should also be able to have this sense of humility that you don't know everything and that you're willing to learn, you're willing to commit mistakes, and that if you fail, you're willing to pick yourself up immediately and then start from where you need to, probably recalibrate things. So it's not something like, okay, I'm doing something that's going to be like Facebook. But if you haven't done any of the basic things such as validating an idea, talking to people who are well versed with the industry that you're trying to penetrate, then you're bound to fail. So startup culture is a lot about openness, it's a lot about risk taking, it's a lot of listening, it's a lot of, there should be a lot of propriety involved, niceties, especially when you're dealing with investors. So it's not about funding and pitching, no. It's really all about hard work.
And a lot of drinks too after work, right?
Make sure that you're sober when you go to work or when you
Yes.
face an investor.
We have a question here from John of Net25.
Hi, good afternoon. You told us that investors will be coming to the event. What are the usual qualifications or characteristics of a startup business that investors usually look for to be funded? Thank you.
That's a very good question.
Good question. So typically, there's a lot of things we look at. First of all, it's very important for us. Our main priority is the team. It's the people behind the business. It's not just the product. But we wanted to know if the team is solid. Can they do the work? Do they have integrity? Will they work with us? Can we even work with them? So there's a lot of factors that we look at in the team. And then we look at the product. Is it the right time? Is the product going to be bought by customers? Will there be issues in selling? And then we go on and look at different factors like financials and all that stuff. But I think at early stages, we always would look at just the team and the product first.
I think follow-up question is, how is the startup investor relationship look like? I know it's crazy, but how is it like? You can probably,
have some startup insights also later. But how is the startup investor relationship look like? Is it pleasant all the time, or
I mean, we start with the pleasantries and all, but come due diligence time, it's a lot of hard work. That's when you need to open up a lot of things, and you should show your integrity. There are times wherein the investor will have to, after just one meeting, the investor will just say no more, because the investors are very smart, so they know off the bat your personality already, by the way how you pitch, by the way you answer their questions. If you don't get to answer their questions properly, sometimes it's already a red flag for them. And then, if you don't get back to them, let's say you promise that you will get back to them within 24 hours, and then the investor follows up several times, you don't get to address the investor properly, then you lose your chance. So, the investors also have like a blacklist of their own startups of not to deal with, and the investor circles really are quite small here in the Philippines. So like Francis and I, we do a lot of note sharing. I do consult with him, he consults with me. He wants to know, how do you find the startup founder? How do you find this business? Are they really getting clients? Are they really saying that these are their numbers in the bank? These are the numbers in their finances? And I will have to tell him, yes, no, it's the same story, so maybe we could ask another person to also validate for us. So it's a lot of sharing of notes, and then at the same time, we do have our list of criteria of what to look for in a deal flow.
Also want to second what Nicole said. Like for example, we invested in Cromwell. So every day or most of the time, like I would keep in touch with them. How are they doing? What are the metrics that have to be met, and other key factors that needs to be done. So it's really more than a startup investor relationship, but more on it's like your own baby or your own kid that you have to nurture and you have to keep an eye on at all.
Sarap siguro maging startup founder, especially when you have investors. We have a question here from Maddie.
Hi, my question is, what does it take to be a startup founder? Or more so, can anyone be a startup founder?
Yeah, I think anyone could be a startup founder, but not everyone can. So I would say that it depends on your risk appetite. can you guys sleep at night knowing that tomorrow your company is gonna crash and burn? So those are the questions that you may have to train yourself and think about when money runs out and you don't have anything to pay the staff, how do you go on tomorrow? So things like that are typical issues of a startup founder, and these are the risks that you have to take to get to the next level. So founders get very creative and do things in a very different way.
Yun pala, no, para maging founder, it takes a certain level of creativity and diskarte, sabi nga nila. We also have another question here.
Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon. About the event, I would just like to clarify. The major objective of the event is to parang mix and match the startups and the investor. Will there be, I understand also that there will be exhibitors or?
Yes, there are exhibitors. Actually, the startups also, there are also exhibitors because they will showcase their products and services during the event. It's all about interaction and helping the startups engage with investors, with corporate, and also with the media. So we have exhibitors as well.
Alongside, will there be small talks or sort of seminars?
Yes, we have the main stage, we call it the forum. So we have invited a highly competitive and of course seasoned experience who can share about technology and innovation. If you could also access the website and also the app, you can download the app. We have the speakers there. You can look at the app, nandun lahat with their photos and the topics and all the schedules as well.
Last question.
Sure.
Will the pitching session be made available? Now, will be made open to the public or closed door?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
yes,
thank
it is.
you.
We have a preliminary, though, on July 28th. It's a closed-door pitching competition wherein we selected, where we will select 30 startups, and then we will select the top 10, and the top 10 will compete for the final day on July 30, where the winner can get $500,000. All right? $500,000 pesos. Thank you. Hindi the dollars.
just to add lang on Eileen's query. Eileen, more than just the business matching portion. The reason why we're attracting international, regional investors to come is because they're curious about the ecosystem here. They want to know what's happening here in the Philippines. Are there opportunities? And at the same time, if we talk about the ecosystem, how much of it is private sector led? How much is the government supporting startups? Is government aware of startups? What if they are aware of startups? What is the type of support that they are doing for the startups? And that is one of the topics that will be discussed in the 2-day panel discussions we'll be holding. So on the 29th to the 30th, you can expect a lot of panel discussions. Like there's a panel that is about just the government funding or support, focused on that. You have another panel that will talk about people like Francis, entrepreneurs who have exited. You have a panel about what do we do about researches, because I closely work with DOST, and they have certain researches that are commercially viable, but why haven't they taken that commercial route? So we'll also have a panel discussion on that. And then what's the next big thing? What can investors look forward to? What's the type of cutting-edge technologies that startup founders are doing nowadays? And then we also talk about the more grassroots type of technology, tech startups addressing problems in education, problems in health, problems in the environment, problems in transportation and mobility. So you have that slew of interesting and varied panel discussions that you can look forward to. So really, the mixing and the matching hopefully is like icing on the cake. But really, the cake is all about what can the Philippines offer, especially now that we're going towards an ASEAN integration. And a lot of the investors are wondering, can we do a lot of cross-border investing?
Thank you for that enlightenment. Thank you for clarifying. Thank you.
No, it's just to add more to what Mai said. So it's really about, mixing and matching people together. And we're hoping that, some investments will be made. But really, it's like giving Startup Philippines intro to regional and international investors.
Right. Big na big ang ating event. We have another question here.
From 1995. Sorry. Usually, in what industries does the startups come from? What specific industries do they usually come from?
It's actually it's a big variety. So it comes from many different sectors. So anything from financial to health, education. So it depends. There's a lot. And people kind of choose their own niches, and they make sure that they dominate their niche.
Another question. If I will propose a project or a business, are there any collaterals that I need to provide to the investors, or are there any collaterals I need to give them so that they will invest in my?
Sure. So it's called the pitch deck. So the pitch deck will have all the details of your business in roughly 10 to 12 slides. So that's kind of what we look for, but we're not just looking for the ones that have an idea. We're actually looking for someone who's executed that idea, created the prototype, and have shown it to some customers. And these are investor-ready companies. So that when the investors come, they can just invest the money right away. That's kind of what we're aiming for with this.
All right. We have one question here from our audience.
Ms. Mars from State.ph. You've already mentioned that there are already 4,000 registrants for the event, and can you still accept walk-ins, on-site? And okay, yun mo muna.
Okay, as much as possible, we prefer sana pre-register everyone before the event. But we are very friendly, so we are accepting walk-ins. But the reason why we're doing this promotions and marketing is to really encourage everyone to sign up early and pre-register before the event. So we'd like everyone to pre-register. They can register in two ways. One is through the website, and also one is through the app. The app is TECHtonic PH, and the website is www.techtonic.ph. But we are welcoming walk-ins. They have to bring their IDs or their business cards, and we have a registration in front of the hall 2 of SMX. But we'd like to encourage everyone, if you have friends who would like to attend, please encourage them to sign up through the website and through the app. Thank you.
Thank you, Pa.
Sorry, just to add one point. Although we are open for walk-ins, I would also say that we will try to minimize that because of the fact that we really want the people who attend to be very relevant to the people who are exhibiting. So we want to maintain quality so that the ones that actually exhibit can get the most out of what they do.
So does that also, well, follow-up po is, so can so ang mga bida rito yung mga startups and the investors, so how about the ones that have already taken off? Yung mga nag-ano na sila, yung successful na, can they still, observe and mingle?
Sure. So the main four stakeholders that we have is startups, investors, corporations, and media. Now, with startups naman, the ones that have taken off, the ones that you hear on the news, that you read about, they will be there as well. But they cannot pitch because we have limitations on the pitching competitions. But they'll be there to exhibit. I believe there's around 130 startups that already signed up. Most of them are early stage, but there are a lot of later stage that will be attended.
Just to wrap up our session, can I ask for closing statements from our panelists?
Hey, we'd like to invite everyone once again, TECHtonic Manila Tech Convention 2017. Would like to say, of course, ako yan and the rest of the team would like to say this is the hottest and the biggest tech event of the year. And of course, We are welcoming everyone to sign up as early as now. If you are into innovation and technology, we'd like to welcome the corporate, the investors. We are still accepting investors, right? We have a lot of investors already. You can also check that out in the website, in our app, and local and international. Please support us because this is going to be a yearly event. We'd like to invite you, of course, once again for the next year. But eto muna, dito muna tayo sa launching. I'd like to see you once again on July 29 to 30. Thank you.
Yes, I'd like to invite everyone to join and attend TECHtonic. You can register on the website, and you can download the app also for further information. It's gonna be 2 days of panel talks and pitching competition. There will be startups exhibiting, media will be attending, corporate attendees, and also students from the academy. They're very interested. We've got partner schools already who are committed to this event, and they are eager to and can't wait for July.
On my end, aside from inviting you guys, I think all of us have been inviting you for the longest time. I wanted just to say that we're doing this because we really wanted to solve an issue in our industry, the startup industry. We wanted to showcase that there are actually companies here who are doing something that could really change the way business is done and can change lives as well. So I think we want to showcase that. We want to give them the stage, and we want to hope that they could get investments or sales or exposure from the media. So at least they could be highlighted and they could inspire others to even do more startups in the future and of course impact the Philippines as a whole.
I've been in the startup industry for quite a while. So even before Idea Space and Kickstart Ventures came out, I was working with Naira BC as an associate. And pre-2012 was so niche for startup founders. They had no recourse but to set their sights in Silicon Valley or outside the Philippines. But come 2012, because PLDT and Globe came in, and it's snowballed since then. The time has been the population in the startup community has been clamoring for an event really. When will we have an event that will not only celebrate, that will not only bring in opportunities, but that will actually introduce the Philippines to a bigger crowd. The Philippines beyond ASEAN, the Philippines hopefully reaching towards an international scope or type of event. So this is what TECHtonic is all about. So TECHtonic really would like to bring attention to what the Philippines has to offer. And I think this is our response to the Tech and HR because is the Philippines the next big thing when it comes to startups?
Can I just make a special announcement? We'd like to thank our sponsors, PLDT Home. So they provided a Wi-Fi here for today.
Oh, yeah, that's
In that way, you can download the app. You can also visit the website. So download the app, TECHtonic PH. We'd like to acknowledge also ProMate, our major sponsor, and Snippet Media. Thank you so much. And also Mega Cellular, who's here to actually raffle out some items. So make sure you drop your raffle stops.
The most exciting part of the I guess we have stuff to raffle off to our attendees, and eto po sila right now. If you entered earlier today, we asked you to put a raffle stub. Meron po bang mga hahabol ng raffle stub dito sa ating harap? Anyone else who haven't placed the raffle stubs? Going. Hindi pa. Going pa lang. Going. Wala na po. Gone. Okay, now we have